The mount comes with 4 screws, a mount plate, and 2 mount sight rings. Position mount plate on bow with plate holes directly over the 2 sight mounting holes on the back side of the bow's riser. Make certain that the slot on the mount is towards the front of the bow. Secure the mount to your bow's riser with 2 screws. Make certain that the screws are seated tightly. If necessary, you may have to tap holes in riser deeper to get a secure fit. Attach the 2 mounting rings next. Note the 5 holes on the back of the plate and the long slot on the front of the plate. These were designed for easy adjustment of the sight later. To begin, mount the first ring to the second hole on the back portion of the mount. Attach with screw provided. Do not tighten this screw yet. Some play will be needed when installing the sight. Attach the front ring in the same manner. Remove the ring caps from the mounting rings. Place the sight into the rings with the front of the sight towards the front of the bow. Because our sights were designed to be used for both right and left-handed bows, it is important to follow 2 rules when installing your sight. 1. The adjustment knobs and the light intensity knob must face away from the bow for ease of use. And 2. These adjustment knobs must either be straight up and down or straight out. If not, fine adjustments that have to be made later will be much more difficult. Once you are happy with the position of the sight, replace the top half of the ring mounts and tighten firmly in place. Before tightening the screws on the back of the mount, it is important that the front of the sight is slightly lower than the back. This allows for arrow drop. After the sight is positioned properly, tighten all screws. You are now ready to fine-tune your sight. Shoot several arrows at a distance of 18 to 20 yards. You will want to correct for vertical inaccuracies first. Do this by adjusting the front of the sight with the slot in the front of the mount plate. Do not use the fine-tune adjustment knob on the sight itself. You must move the sight up if the arrows were hitting high, and move the sight down if the arrows are hitting low. If these adjustments are not sufficient, you'll have to move the back of the sight to a different hole. Just remember that the front of the sight must be lower than the back of the sight. Once the elevation adjustments have been made, you may have to adjust for left-right accuracy. If your arrows are shooting off target by less than 4 inches, use the adjustment knob that is on the side of the sight, not the top or bottom knob. Turn knob clockwise if arrow is shooting left of the target, or turn knob counterclockwise if arrow is shooting right of target. If your arrows are initially off target by more than 4 inches, this is usually caused by riser twist in your bow. To correct this, you must use a shim. To install a shim, loosen the 2 screws that hold the mount plate to the riser. A business card cut to size will make a good shim. Insert this shim between the mount plate and riser. You must insert the shim here and not between the mount plate and mount rings. If arrow impact is to the right of target, insert the shim in front of the mounting screws. If arrow impact is to the left of the target, insert the shim behind the screws. Now, tighten the mounting screws and test bow again. If pattern is within 4 inches, you may fine-tune as shown earlier. If it is over, shim as necessary. Once sight is properly mounted, you should note that it will line up slightly outside of the bowstring. This allows you to shoot with both eyes open, to keep your head upright and forward, not cocked or tilted, and to maintain a relaxed, natural body position. It also allows you to keep your bowstring away from your nose while shooting. Once your bow and sight system is sighted in, you can begin to experiment with the adjustability of your sight. Determine which distances you want to shoot at, for example 20, 30, and 45 yards. Shoot at those distances and adjust the sight until you are hitting your mark. When you are satisfied with your performance, mark the label with a pen or pencil. When changing the batteries on your sight, be especially careful not to strip the threads of the cap. Hold the base of the intensity ring steady with one hand while you loosen or tighten the cap with the other.